Hello there, and welcome to Game 1. You're looking at the one and only, the master of stats, tutorials, and a pretty damn good YouTuber. But in this case, he's the Wehrmacht player in round 1 of GCS3. It's Tightrope. Joining us today on commentary, we have a top 10 in the world player hailing from Romania. We've got Inka Una introducing the northern participant.
On the north side, we have the angry Dutchman, a very beloved streamer and a very good player as well, playing as the Soviets for us today. And he has mechanized support tactics, counterattack tactics, and defense tactics as the commanders for today.
He does. Let's have a little look at them now and see the options. Because these guys did veto one commander each. I wasn't privy to because they actually played last night. Tightrope's going straight for the fuel. They played last night and they've given us the replays, but with no spoilers. So I have nobody except these two warriors know what happened in this game. Tightrope's commanders, we're hoping for a little bit of non-meta if he has a chance, right, Inka? His commanders are possibly Spearhead Doctrine. He's got Blitzkrieg Doctrine and, of course, Storm Doctrine. So let's see what he can bring in his bag of tricks, because he often plays some wacky strategies, doesn't he, Inka?
Yeah, and he also makes them work, you know. It's quite a wonder, I'd say. Not many players can do off-meta stuff and actually get away with it, you know. It's quite impressive.
Yes, especially as Brits. I've noticed MG's gone up for a first round. Angry Dutchman's hoping the first. They're gonna complain about the tournament format whilst playing. Apparently, they wanted all the rounds in Denmark. Well, Tightrope would know a thing or two about that because we had all the rounds of GCS2 in Manchester, and we never got a chance to go out and have a drink, Inka. It was a big shame. So this time, only the last 2 rounds of the tournament are live, and the first 2 are in person.
Yeah.
Notice Tightrope has not been drawn into a conversation there, Inka. He wants to keep his game face on, pushing up with the Grens of the Pioneer and the MG. Pretty steady play.
He's going full aggressive, you know, trying to get the field, but apparently Tightrope can hold him off for the moment, I'd say.
But he's just leaving himself vulnerable for this cutoff. So, does he have any units coming to protect the cutoff? Doesn't look like it.
He's getting another Grenadier, which should be on time with the cutoff getting cut off, you know. And he also pushed the engineer from the truck, a very big win, I'd say.
Is it though? 3 units to push away 1 engineer. We'll have to wait and see if that is a big win. He's got 2 conscripts protecting his own cutoff as the Dutchman, whilst taking Tightropes. Inka, you're a damn good player. You play on Amelie Fields quite a lot. Can you afford to lose this much fuel in the early game as Wehrmacht?
Well, it depends what kind of strat Tightrope wants to do. If he wants to get another Grenadier, it's totally fine, because the 2-2 will be delayed either way. So, yeah, it all depends. You know, like currently, if we're talking about models getting killed or whatever, Tightrope is winning. Big time, actually.
Yeah, he's had a few early scalps. Got the Rock 9 flamethrower on the combat engineers of Dutchman about to pop. They're going to it's going to appear out of nowhere. The 3 men remaining, and one of them now has a flamethrower. There you go, Gren's forced away. The cutoff is maintained. Meanwhile, conscripts retreating up the north. Pioneers leading the way. The MG's being a little bit static at the moment. Not been much in the action. But, big news, Inka. He's got a Gren to go around the outside and take away Angry Dutchman's fuel.
Yeah, very, very well played. Also, he's doing very good work with MG. Always suppressed units. Until now, apparently.
Yeah, just about got through past the cone of fire. Inka Una finding the Caster's Curse very early on. Very good form there, Inka. Very quick to find it. And Dutchman gets around the cone of fire yet again.
Nice micro from Dutchman there. Well played.
You didn't say gets the kill anywhere. Nothing's died, has it?
No, I said well played.
Oh, well played, yeah, well played.
Yeah.
Inka, of course, comes from Romania. He's a little bit worried about his English, but I think he's got excellent English, and also he's got a fantastic analytical mind for the game. Often hanging around in Discord with his buddies, commentating on their plays. Pax Ajax probably has to listen to you giving him abuse, I imagine.
Yeah.
Jibber as well, although Jibber can't talk back, which is a shame.
Funnily enough, he actually has the mic. He's just too shy to use it. It's quite a shame, honestly.
Well, we're going to meet him in GCS3, so we'll give him a tickle and hopefully a beer and maybe get some words out of him. Anyway, we've got Cons versus Grens in the northwest. Cons push on and Gren's back away for now. It's an interesting early game. Angry Dutchman's going to go for another conscript. He's not feeling like he's getting the best of the situation right now. He wants to really solidify it. Meanwhile, Tightrope's going to go for a western approach on Amelie Fields and take the fuel that way instead.
Very unusual, yeah.
It really is. If we look at the TAC map, we can see it is pretty unusual. You have to get this point, which connects the munitions point, and that gets the fuel that way. It's very difficult to get.
It's quite weird to see that Tightrope got another Grenadier at this minute, you know, like it's quite late. I think he missed the time on it.
Yeah.
I think he just got a little scared because he doesn't have the fuel for the 2-2.
Exactly. That's what I'm on about, that timing, though, because he's not getting that 30 on time with the light mechanized.
This could be a wipe on retreat from the mine. Could be tragic.
Oh, no!
Barely missed.
There was 2 mines along that road, and he missed both of them. I think the only way it could have maybe pushed them is if the combat engineers got in their way and pushed them around that bush. But
yeah.
It's easier said than done. Mine's going to detonate. May even get some friendly fire damage here. It does as well, yeah. There you go. Meanwhile, the Gren hits the one in the south whilst he gets the LMG. That's unfortunate. You don't want a 2-man LMG this point in the game. You want a 4-man LMG.
He's getting the 2-2 on a decent timing, actually.
Oh, what a rifle nade! Oh, no, it wasn't. It was easily dodged. I thought it was, like, a little bit different to that, but it wasn't. Right. Okay, Tightrope's had fuel for a while now. Ink has pointed out the 2-2's on its way. Not a bad little skirmish so far, would you say?
Yeah. I wonder what Dutchman will go for. He gets a T70. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I suppose it is a little bit more interesting these days. It used to be the bread and butter of the Soviet army, but since the nerfs and the M5 coming to power, T70 is like, oh, a T70, interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy how that changed. Right, conscripts fighting for their lives here. Dutchman still has that fuel in the southeast. Gren goes down to 1 man, but it's a healthy soldat. Singular. And here comes that 2-2-2, very late to the party. The mines have been swept for it by the infantry. Very nice of them. Come on, guys, get a poll up in chat. I want a poll for who you want to win out of Dutchman and Tightrope. I don't want the higher seed Dutchman winning a poll of who you think will win. I want to hear who you want to win. Get a poll out, one of you moderators. T70's hunting down the 2-2-2. Where are the Fausts? There's one coming up, but he's a little bit more far away. T70's not going to tango for fear of the pack. That isn't quite on the field yet, but it soon will be.
Also interesting to see that Tightrope sacrificed reinforcement to get the pack. I think that's interesting.
That's neat, yeah, I see that. That's good. That's a good feature to utilize sometimes, just not spamming reinforce every possible opportunity. Sometimes you have to weigh things up. In this case, yeah, got the pack on the field more quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Conscripts push into the fuel, stop the Pioneers capping it. Meanwhile, in the west, Dutchman's capping the one there. He's got to push in through the centre with the flamethrower. Gren's going to hold the line as more arrive, and a 2-man Grenadier comes out of base. Inca.
Must have been a mistake, yeah.
Yeah, or he's just that desperate to hold the line.
Could be, could be.
Interesting. LMG Grenadier joins the battle. Pack 40's facing east. Meanwhile, the T70's being repaired. He is over there right now. 2-2-2 finds a window to harass the conscripts, forcing them away. And Dutchman starting to apply the pressure now.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Oh, Pack hits the T70 for the first time, yeah.
Could be even a second one. Okay, unfortunate.
Do a quick time sync, Inca, just to check. 9:31, 32, 33. Yeah. Perfect. Good work, mate. Good work. Just making sure UK and Romanian internet runs at the same speed. You're not 2 hours ahead of me in the game, you know, just in life.
All good, all good.
All good. Right, we've got these units set up on the centre right now. He's capping the fuel. We are casting from Tightrope's perspective, because that's how Amelie works. It's a south-north map. That's what tends to happen. Let's give Angry Dutchman's base some love and see what he's got happening. He's got Zisgun coming out. He's repairing the T70 as we speak. And yeah, he seems to be in a fairly well-pitched battle at this point in time.
Yeah. Quite interesting to see that nobody picked commanders yet.
No, I know, right? One thing they'll have to watch out for if they progress in this series is Commander Terminator will kick in for those best of 5s. But yeah, it's interesting because we've got some commanders. Well, actually, would they be useful at this point? I'm not so sure. Maybe the defensive tactics would have been. With the newly nerfed 120, even more nerfed now. We've nerfed it again, down to 4 men now if they choose to use it.
I think defensive tactics would be the viable option because he went 4 conscripts.
Yes.
So the other 2 commanders have elite infantry, you know, so that would be a waste.
Yes, 4 cons and elite infantry as manpower bottleneck city. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Oh, there we go. The Ziskuns found the 222 for the first time, pushing it away. Pioneers and MG hold the line, but if you check the minimap, you can see that the map is turning blue as we speak, because Dutchman's capping the eastern fuel, he's just capped the western high munitions. There we go. By the way, we've had a poll released in chat as the MG evades a Zisgun. Oh, the conscripts are roaring into focus. They're forced away through their own artillery. Polls out in chat, and could you want to read it out for the viewers at YouTube land?
Give me 1 second, please.
No problem, no problem. Meanwhile, 222's being repaired. Gren's pushing up. We've got 2 LMG Grenadiers now. He's put a lot of... got 1 more batch of 60 munitions if he wants to use it.
Apparently everyone wants to see Tightrope win, with 65% of the votes going to him and 35% to Dutchman. Quite interesting to see.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. Ever popular as Tightrope. He does a lot for the community in terms of actually telling us how the game works at a stats level. His time on the balance team has helped with that. He's really knowledgeable. Molotov goes in, Gren's evade, but they've suffered a lot of health damage there. It's going to be 30 manpower a pop, but they're actually still winning. There you go. Meanwhile, they're pushing up against the T-70. That gets forced away. Conscripts are low now. Surely he can get a wipe here, Inca.
Oh, would be very bad for Dutchman. And yeah, the wipe is secured. Oof.
The swine are dead. That's the voice line I got anyway. Right. Conscripts and the West doing a little bit better. But Dutchman, at least he's now secured up his manpower economy if he wants to go guards. So every cloud has a silver lining, Inca.
Yeah, yeah. Perhaps it was good that he didn't pick the commander.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. So Tightrope's, he's got a decent economy at the moment. He has gotten Battle Phase 2 up. Maybe he's thinking about support armor core soon. There we go. AT grenade in as the telegraph poles are destroyed.
Oh, Grenadier almost goes down. The
I think
mine.
it was a mine, yeah.
Yeah.
In front of the
Behind the
sandbag. That's
sandbag.
a sneaky mine there.
I feel like Tightrope is playing a little bit too passively after the conscript wipe. He should capitalize on the
That's
wipe.
often what happens when a player feels like they're inferior to another player in terms of raw skill. They don't capitalize on their wins, and the other player just gets back into the game more easily. You're right. So good thing to notice. An Aussie, Hoi Jimmy, has said it's Anzac Day today, so surely Tightrope will win. Of course, Anzac being the Australian and New Zealand fighting forces of the big world wars. So yeah, hats off to the Kiwis and the Aussies for what they did in the Second World War, etc. And maybe Tightrope will have a big strength because of that, as the Grenadiers are obliterated.
Dutchman already ticked up. Can already get the T-34-76 on the field if he wants to.
And you're right, that's exactly what he's going to go. This will be a juicy tank to get. There's only 1 pack 40 on the field. I've not seen any Telemines. I'm just having a little sweep for them now, using my boomer vision. Can't
There's
see
nothing on in the obvious spots. Perhaps a hidden mine. Who knows?
Oh, well, look at his munitions count. He's definitely not planted tallies. He's got 107 at the moment, which, to be honest, his Wehrmacht seems a little bit wasteful because usually they're bottlenecked for munitions. But when a player is in the lead like Tightrope is in this high-octane, super energetic game, what's going on? No one's doing anything right now. Have they caused a truce? Did you know about, like, in World War One where the Germans and British played football?
Oh yeah, I read about it. Yeah.
Maybe they're playing football or something right now.
And the T-34 arrives on the field. I think this is a perfect time for Dutchman to be a little bit more aggressive on his side with the fuel to recap.
Yeah, I think so. Dutchman should definitely do that. But meanwhile, the conscript retreats with little health as the T-34 goes in. The Grens are going to hold the line and try and get a Faust off after the pack connects, but they are forced away instead. Meanwhile, the T-70 is choosing this moment to go in and harass the pack. This is exactly what Inca alluded to. We've got a flank coming in from the side as well. Can Tightrope defend his position? Mobility Blayat as the T-70s is Fausted. T-34 goes in for the pack. It needs to stay alive. Can it get close enough to the infantry company to start reinforcing? 2-2 goes down. Grens are trying to hold the line. We've got the cutoff coming in as well. What a great assault by Dutchman, Inca.
Yeah, very well micro so far.
Takes a lot to pull that off, right?
Tightrope perhaps didn't really practice with the this amount of main lines. You know, it's quite hard to micro everything. So perhaps he's like behind micro-wise.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's certainly... This game, by the way, was played at perfect time for the players. It was played at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, 9 o'clock last night, out at my time, Inca. So I think... No, 9 o'clock, sorry, Dutchman's time. Whatever that is for Tightrope. I think that's like next day. So he played that earlier on his Sunday. How does the world work? I don't understand. Apparently it's a Sophia. I think it's more like a disc, but whatever. That's a joke, by the way. In case anybody thinks I'm a flat earther. Anyway, Panzer IV's out, Inca. It's a bit late, isn't it?
It's a bit late, but he still can do a lot of damage. Only one Z-gun and one guard. As Dutchman picked the mechanized support tactics commander.
Oh, has he? Yes, he has
Yeah.
indeed. Will we see a meme BM ISU 152 on Amelie Fields? Not a bad map for one, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a very good map. I think we'll see a lot of usage for the camouflage on the Z-gun though. It's a really good ability. And
Gets like a first strike bonus, doesn't it?
Yeah. Also, I believe accuracy bonus. Like, just it's so good, especially with this commander, because you have a mark vehicle, you know, so extra damage, extra accuracy. It's so deadly in the right hands.
Right, okay, so this pushes forward. T-70 watches on. Grens under duress. They're getting focus fired right now by the guards. Speaking of guards, they get hit by a mortar round. Panzer IV could finish them off. It's tracking them. Should be safe, and indeed it misses. Meanwhile, what's the Pack 40 doing? That went way too far forward. In fact, it's taken by the Dutchman. They've got to get it with this Gren, but he gets behind the shed. T-70 comes in to shepherd it away. Should be fine. Panzer IV's coming in as well. They're getting blocked there, the Grens. They're trying to sprint in, but they couldn't get there because the Panzer IV blocked them. Can they stop this Pack 40 being taken? Panzer IV goes in. Yes, the Pack 40 goes down. Where's the cover, though? The T-34's full health. That's coming into the situation, Inca. Can he take down the T-70? Yes, indeed he does. He misses. Nothing.
Oh, before it goes down. Oof.
Oh, no. Oh, and the
Also
Grens
lost
die
the
as well. This is all
Oh,
going
that's
so
tragic.
badly. One mistake led to another like a daisy chain. Tried so hard to rescue the situation after he pushed his pack too far forwards, and it all came crumbling down like a house of cards. Talk us through the psychology, Inca. What happens in a big tournament game when you make a mistake like that?
Well, I mean, I think Tightrope took the good engagement. You know, the unfortunate part was the the P4 missing one shot. If that specific shot actually hit, the T70 would have died before that, and he could have backed off. So he got a little bit robbed. It happens. I think he did the good decision, I'd say.
That's often the difference between that the top level and just under it. You know, both players are damn decent, but obviously Dutchman has a little bit higher auto-match ranks and such. It's the first to make a mistake, basically, and the only mistake he made was push that pack a little bit too far forward, and it led to so much happening.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I think the mortar was a mistake, because no MGs, nothing. Could have gotten a second pack, I think, with that manpower.
Yeah, it's always safer in these big top-level battles, unfortunately, for the viewers who get sick of it. But 2 AT guns is very safe indeed. And talking of 2 AT guns, we've got a pack 40 for the Soviets now. Oh, and a Gren could die here. T-31's going to go in for it. But he can't see it right now, can he? Should be safe. Attack ground shot! Attack ground shot! Nearly got him with the AG. Oh! Yeah, rifle made into the heart of that 6-man squad there. 7-man squad, sorry. Alright, pack 40's been rebuilt. We've got a sprint Faust coming in, but he can't get into the range. Oh, pack, that's a juicy shot. If he'd only been able to get the Faust off there. Dutchman holding the line, Inca. He's not doing too badly.
Yeah, it's quite impressive with the amount of losses that he had.
I meant Tightrope, you're right. Yeah, you just rolled with my picture. No, I did mean Tightrope. Thank you. You covered for me excellently.
Okay.
I'm quite happy that you covered for me. Let's check the stats at this point and have a little look. KD is it's okay for Wehrmacht. Army value, you can see Tightrope's dive, but he's holding on just about. And points held is always an important one. You can see that Dutchman's had more success than Tightrope on the field at this point. Oh, he's pushing forward with a sweeper, just having a little look. And Grenz go east, capping the victory point there. This is because Dutchman's recoiled and he's repairing, reinforcing, recuperating, and recharging right now. Bit of deja vu for us, Inca. We got a second Panzer IV colliding with the bunker. Please don't tell me he gets locked in. Oh. Really could we could do something with Amelie and make those base entrances a little bit better, couldn't we? I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, combat engineers pushing in. Panzer IV watching on. Oh god. Tell us what your Hawkeyes see, Inca. How's this game developing now?
Oh, I think Dutchman is a little bit greedy with the ISU. He definitely wants to go for it, perhaps for the BM factor, but that might actually backfire. We'll see.
Oh, big shot there from the Panzer IV. This Panzer IV's doing really well. 6 kills already. He just said some target destroyed. I don't know if there was a little wipe in the east. He said something died anyway.
No wipe.
Okay, fair enough. Grenz hit Vet 3 with 24 kills. Tell you what, he's had a shaky start, but victory point wise, he's not too far behind. 387 to 202. Fuel wise, however, of course, he's quite far behind. And the ISU 152 is beckoning. We're at 500 manpower, 234, and that thing absolutely bangs.
Yeah. You know what? I think Dutchman can even just hold it on high explosive. He doesn't need AT for the moment. He has double AT. So perhaps he'll just nuke one spot at a time. Who knows?
Nuke them one at a time, one after another indeed. This huge Behemoth beckons. Zisgun being met with its German equivalent as the T-34 hits Vet 2 and the guards take position behind the green cover there. He's lining up shots now. They're on the Panzer IV. Needs to get out of there. Be safe for now. Right, Mortar's behind a pretty good position. He's gotten 10 kills at this point, second victory point cap, but the infantry of Dutchman is beginning to reposition. For those that don't know, this is a single elimination tournament. The last 2 rounds will be live. Both of these players will be there in Denmark, but will they be there as players? $1,000 for the winner of GCS3 and the best trophy I've ever seen with my own eyes. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so a lot to play for. But it's pretty hard bracketing. I was a little bit scared at one point with the GCS3 players because at one point it looked a little bit weak. But it certainly picked up at the end with Orange Pest and Loveness joining.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Right, Gren's push up through the centre. Oh, and here he is! The big boy is on the field. 152 ISU. And look at that huge cannon. This thing, it has high explosive, armor piercing. It can pretty much decimate entire armies if it's well supported. What are your tips for using the ISU well, Inca? It's pretty difficult to make it as powerful as it can be.
Well, yeah, you just need a little bit of sight and some micro on it, and you'll just nuke everything. Even right now, Tightrope doesn't have a counter for it. He needs to take up, and he does take up to battle phase 3, and he needs something heavy to deal with it. Otherwise, he won't stand a chance.
He's not seen it yet. I'm going to get on Tightrope's position. He is a tac map player, by the way, but he does play from default, and he should be now beginning to have a bit of a rumble in the distance. That's pretty ominous. Right, it's just shot at him, so I think he knows it's there now. I just think, yeah, now he knows it's there for certain. It's one of the Neville, the 4th Grenadier, is very dead. Get out of there! Oh, I can imagine that Dutchman's just going to be tack grounding the crap out of Tightrope with this thing.
Yeah, I agree. Tightrope has very good map control though, always capping the fuel. Very, very well played for him.
He's doing really well actually.
Yeah.
ISU just absolutely nuked something. I don't know if it was a mine or whatever. Some XP flew up. I don't know what died.
One model from the engineer squad, the one that's
really?
V2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one that's just retreated. It's a good job he's got it to Vet 2 actually, because I mean, what's he gonna get? Surely a Panther, right?
Yeah, I think that's the only choice.
Only choice. The only thing that can really keep the ISU at bay. Oh, the Panzer IV's found out. Because he just doesn't have critical mass with Panzers either. If he hadn't lost the first Panzer, of course he could maybe go 3 Panzer IVs, hope to swarm him or something crazy. But he's not going to have that potential. If he gets a Stug, he'd want to have had it on the field for a while because he needs veterancy to reliably penetrate the ISU. So I think you're right. The only thing he can go right now and stay in this game strategically is the Panther.
Definitely. I mean, he can obviously go for a Stuk spam, you know, perhaps get the Stuka dive bomb on the double ET guns. We've seen him pull off stuff like this before, so perhaps he'll do it again. But I think the Panther is definitely a safer choice.
Yeah, I think you're relying on RNG with what you just spelled out. It might work in like a 2v2 when all the chaos is going on, but 1v1 it's so concentrated. Like the players are so concentrated, it's so difficult to pull something like that off at times. Alright, we've got camouflage, this comes. ISU's confident now to go forward and just blap that wall in particular, I guess. Heavy Panzer Corps down, Panzer IV goes in. Gets some veterancy thanks to the T-34, and the Pak-40 misses. Meanwhile, this is a marked vehicle that was initiated on the Panzer IV, keeping that out of bay. And yeah, Tightrope, he's getting 2 fuels, that's not too shabby, he just needs to get some more victory points. Easier said than done. At least this machine gun is spread out, so it's one at a time. This guy's next. Oh, God. Oh, we've got a target weak point going on the ISU. And a nice penetration there. If you can get it to Vet 3, that would be helpful. That'll help. Half health.
Oh, my God. What's he doing?
I don't know. That was terrible. Meanwhile, we've got sprinting Faust coming in, but he couldn't make it happen with the target weak points. Of course, the ISU's not going to be deterred by a small brick wall. Did you know, Inca, that they used ISU 152 in the Chernobyl disaster? They used them to break down contaminated walls. They still had them in 1984 or 85, whenever that was. And they just got them out. And to this day, there are contaminated ISU 152s on the grounds of the Chernobyl nuclear reactor in Ukraine, which is pretty incredible.
That's actually very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, Mark Felton on YouTube showed me that. It's pretty cool. IM&G's pushed away. You've got the Panzer IV pushed in. 7-man comms. Oh, what a miss that was. A horrendous miss, really.
Yeah, disappointing performance. Ooh, that's better.
This one will be better. These guys need to get... And they knew it. They didn't stick around for that next shot.
We are losing territory.
Right, okay. Get some on retreat a little bit. Triple cap, by the way, for the Dutchman all of a sudden. Tightrope's victory points floundering. Oh god, the ISU's full health yet again. It's only got 4 kills so far, not that superlative of a performance. But we do have the Panther, which can more reliably penetrate.
Yeah. You also have to remember that having such a big vehicle on the field, you know, there is a fear factor to it. You know, always the possibility of getting one shot.
Yeah.
That's a big factor as well.
I just witnessed, by the way, the bloody the sandbag wall. 8 rifle grenade and a mortar round. The conscripts suffered no health damage. The power of sandbags, man. So they used to be so much worse, though. Remember when you couldn't hit them reliably with AT guns and stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was such a pain.
One of the best changes we could have. What a vision that is. There we go. As the army rolls in. Yes, this game was released in 2013, if you're new. That's right, that's how cool it looks. Unreal. Sorry, I do geek out on how it looks a little bit too much, but I know nothing was dying, don't worry. They're still just preparing for the next assault. Oh, there's a big shot from the ISU from max range there, getting its 10th kill as the Panther rolls in and reduces it to 60% health. The Panzer IV needs to get its target weak points off, but it's interrupted. It tried it, then it interrupted. Meanwhile, smoke bombs hit from the sky above. We've got the T-34 going on the western side. The Jaeger's forced away, but you've just heard the announcer there, Inca. He's down to double-digit figures on the victory points.
Yeah. He needs to do something right now. He doesn't have the VPs to wait around.
That's a no damage T-34, so he cancels the Faust. Needs the Panther in there to do some damage. Can he start getting this Panther going to work? We've got an 18-8 in on the Panther. Do we have the ISU coming in? No, he's on low health. The Ziskin watches over the central ground. Oh, he needs to make this happen. Oh, what a shot. That could have been on the Grens. He needs to be so careful. They're so blobbed
this could
up.
Be bad. Oh.
Oh! They're not there anymore, but if that had hit when they were there, that could have been legendary. Not a bad game. Tightrope going.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a big hit there from the Zis, and the Vet 3 now T-34 goes in with that superior mobility. Can't track it enough though. Forces away the Gren. Instead, meanwhile, in the east, very importantly, we've got an MG going for the victory point there. He's on 71 victory points. God, this is giving me a reminder of the game you played on Amelie. Do you remember?
Oh,
Inca?
yeah. You can't wait. Forget that type of game. Yeah.
I can't believe not. You know, I want more people to have seen it. It was that special. You know, with knuckles around his throat, Inca tries to.
Yeah, I think I watched the cast 2 times myself.
Good man, good man.
It was very cool.
I would have watched it as well, definitely. Right, we've got an Su-85 coming out for Dutchman, so he's just going tank destroyer / assault gun crazy. He's got the little brother and the big brother of the rectangles with guns on. An oblong of destruction. Oh, Panthers pushing in with Pack 40 support, but they're running into Zisk gunfire. And here comes that SU-85. Oh dear, what's happening? Have a look over there in the west very quickly. Just want to see what's happening there. Grenz could be going down back to the east as the Panther goes in. What's it thinking? SU-85's tracking it. This is suicide. Oh no. Needs to get around the turrets, but he's not doing it. And he stopped. Why did he stop? Oh god, Tightrope, no. Oh, meanwhile, in the west, by the way, nice win for Tightrope. He was able to take out that Vet T-34, so it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, but that wasn't a good trade either way, you know?
No.
Oof.
Right, he's using a bit of smoke to allow him to cap the central victory point. He finds the ISU there through the fog. One-man Gren currently capping. It's an SU, he'll be fine. Alright, another T-34 building. What's Tightrope's fuel at? He's at 160 right now. He could do with a lucky Stuka bombing strike or something just to jazz some energy into his melody right now, because he's looking a little bit kind of death throes.
Gets the snare off, which is very good.
Yeah, it's fortunate. Keep the ISU out of the picture for a little bit. I say that, it fires from, you know, far away and hurts the snaring squad. Panzer 4 pushing in with Pack 40 support. Pioneer spotting for both of them. What a spot it was. However, the Pack 40 misses. Here comes the 76. Oh, there's a mine underneath there. Couldn't detonate it, however. T-34. Outsmart target goes in. ISU finds it at max range there. Oh, and the SU gets a parting shot. Nearly kills it. But the big news is here, Tightrope does have that central victory point on 43. He remains in this series for now.
Yeah, but he has a choice to make. Either get some manpower to get the Panther and perhaps survive a little longer, or reinforce and get back on the field. It's not a good situation for him.
Certainly doesn't seem to be that way. We've got Pioneers pushing up to take double fuel. He's got something going up in the east. It's Grenz. He's going to take this victory point and stay behind it. That seems a little bit risky to spread his forces at a vital time. He's got a Stug building, I believe. Yep, that's a Sterngeschütz. Imperial Regiment, Imperial Dane Regiment 1943. Right, fuel's capped, Pioneers retreat, but the Soviets capping the centre. That's what I was worried about with splitting up the Grenz. It's great to get a third victory point, but not if you lose the primary focus. Doesn't even have a repaired engine. Doesn't matter because he can blap things for fun. ISU's up to 16 kills now. Oh, what a long range shot that was. Right, Stug trading in for the Pack 40. You need to get some health on those crew members. First time chat from Fat Kid Ronnie. Dangerschutz. That's a very good first time chat on this channel. Thank you. Third victory point capped. Grenz get behind the heavy cover a little bit late there, but they do that. Meanwhile, how do you push past Vet 3 Guards and ISU conscripts, Zisk and SU-85? That's a difficult task, let's say.
Yeah.
Grenz are able
Also
to protect the east. Sorry, dude, what is it?
Also vetted AT, so not really much to do with the Stug order before without overextending.
Yeah, and the JLIs get brutalized there, and the western victory point's being capped. That's dangerous because he's on 43 right now. Oh, the Stug's been hit in the flank by the SU. He's on tracking mode, focus for sight, as it's otherwise known. Couldn't get the finishing blow, however. The smoke goes in on him, thanks to the mortar. SU goes forward. SU goes forward, Inca. Having to keep the camera toggled down to actually see what's going on here. There's a lot, basically. You can't see it right now. Let's just make sure that's his angle. If he just pivots a little bit, he could be able to take it out. Oh, that's brutal. The SU-85 is spotting for the ISU right now.
Yep.
Oh, there's the veterancy on the Minesweeper Pioneers repairing the super speed. But the SUs are at the door. Damaged engine in yet again on this time the Vets. 2 Panzer IV. Oh no. Victory points ticking down as well. Include down to 35 now. Oh, and the T-34's in peril. Can he get the vital? Oh, he's done the Faust. He needs... Yeah, there he goes. Gets the pack shot in. Meanwhile, that's IL-2 Sturmovik strafing run on the veteran pack as the smoke comes in as well. Oh, just about surviving. Oh, he needs to do better here. He's got a Telemine that could help. Really needs to retreat to the west. He's doing that. SU might hit the Talet. There it goes. Meanwhile, the NMG's gone down elsewhere. Come on, Stug, take out the... Oh, how can you both miss? What is that RNG? That's disgusting RNG. Foul, decrepit, rancid RNG. He missed with both vehicles. Oh, we'll never be an esport as long as that happens.
That's absolutely tragic. Oh, but could ISU actually die here? Everything misses or bounces though.
Oh, God. That's a /L situation. I'm typing it for him. I want to, I won't because it'll actually quit my console, but oh my.
Wow.
There we go, GG. He's done it the gentleman's way. Close one. It was. Well played, Tightrope. You gave it your all. And obviously, I think Angry Dutchman's on his way to winning, but ouch, that RNG was brutal.
Yeah, definitely.
GG, well played, guys. Hello there, and welcome back. This is game 2, and we're looking at Dutchman, who's 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series. He looks like he's headed to the quarterfinals, but we've got a Brit in the north. Well, a Brit, sorry, playing against the Brits. He's actually from New Zealand, and it's the one and only Tightrope, busting out his highest auto-match ranked faction. He's currently number 4 in the world as the Dastardly Brits. Talk us through this commander he's selected, Inka Una.
He selected tactical support, not tactical support, special weapons regiment, which is a very good commander in my opinion, because the tank hunter infantry section is actually decent versus the 222s, for example. He can do some very nice builds with the sniper, for example. Yeah, I think overall it's a very strong commander, especially if he goes for the crocodile ADM.
Yeah, if we could get that far, let's hope, for the sake of viewer diversity and intrigue and anomalous faction selection. I'm going to call it an anomaly because that's how rare Brits are in the top level. Gone are the days where we had likes of Helping Hands, Jove, Aimstrong playing Brits. Although Helping Hands is in this tournament, I might add, so he may actually do that. So it's kind of exciting, isn't it, Inka? It's rare we say that about Brits, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it depends on what the Tightrope is gonna do, you know? He has some decent options, you know?
Well, universally speaking, the Universal Carrier is pretty much centre to a lot of British factions if they are to be viable. It kind of hinges on how much DPS it gets off, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He can get some good pressure from it, especially if there's not a lot of green cover on the map.
Right, enough for that Universal Carrier cam. But it has to be at max range. It's got an inverse weapons profile, just like the LMG, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah. Something about that.
Yeah, so if you just... Yeah, that's it. So watch the Pioneers start to drop now. You'll actually get some decent DPS in. Royal Engineers pushing in. Grenadiers, however, are going for a Faust on the UC. Can't afford for it to get Fausted, so the chase is on. Has to get out of there. Hey, I tell you what, he may be getting a few little sneaky kills on the Pioneers. No, he won't. Oh, he's going to get Fausted. He's backed into a corner here. Can he get away?
We are losing a sector.
Royal Engineers doing reconnaissance there. Vital reconnaissance. Checking there's no Grenadiers on the retreat path. Good work by the tightest of ropes there. And what's this next choice from Tightrope, Inka?
This might be a bad timing, but the game just crashed for me for some reason.
Oh, did it? Okay, we can...
Yeah.
Do you know, all you need to do, dude, just load up the stream. I'm my partner, so my delay is about half a second. So you can still commentate on the analysis, don't worry.
Okay.
So what do you think about the officer coming out next? It's pretty
I think
juicy.
that's an interesting choice. Obviously, because of the abilities, I think it's quite strong at V2 after he gets the 5th man. He can also get some very good smoke from it, and I believe a very quick artillery, which should be nice to see if it's actually used.
If being the operative word, because Dutchman's Wehrmacht is pretty potent. I'd say it's his best faction, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say the same actually. Especially if he pairs it up with a sniper. He's quite known for his sniper builds. Doesn't really matter who's he against. But for some reason today he didn't go for a sniper, which is very interesting to me.
Right, meanwhile, Pioneers push up the east side, getting fuel down. We should have a poll. Everybody thinks now that Dutchman's going to win game 2. So they want Tightrope to win. Well, 65% of them do. But it does look very likely that Dutchman's in control here.
Yeah.
Right, got the Vickers up on the UC. The assault officer pushes in from the western side. MG is going to backpedal for now, but may as well hard retreat if the assault officer gets close.
Yeah. We'll have to see if he gets the power spike after the tank hunter section comes in.
He's going to need something. Some kind of spike.
Because right now he's definitely not going for him, you know. Very bad map control.
Yeah, very bad double fuel against him. He doesn't have his munitions connected. And he only had 2 standard territory points for a while there. Meanwhile, Dutchman, of course, has battle phase 1. And if we go to his base, we can see that he has the bunker coming up. And Dutchman does this. He lets you in a little bit. I tell you why, Inca. All of his units currently based. He does this all the time when playing. He retreats everything, gets it healed up. So he leaves people a window. Now, he said to me in Discord, maybe I'll get some tips off you. Kappa. I'm telling him, if he plays like this versus the top 5 in the world and doesn't have any battlefield presence, he will get his ass handed to him. So there's ranked 500 AE giving top 20 Dutchman a tip. Yeah, it's great to get healed up, but the top level players, the best of the best, may take advantage of that. What do you think,
definitely.
Inca?
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially at the top level, you almost never see units in base unless they are very badly wounded. You know, sometimes in exceptional situations, you know, squads that are half HP leave the base to get more map control, you know, because you don't really have the time to afford to lose, you know. You need every single bit of pressure you can get at the top tier.
You really do. And Dutchman wanted it. And he said it ironically, but he ended up getting it anyway, because he loves a challenge. 222 coming back onto the field, as is the entirety of Dutchman's army. Meanwhile, Tightrope has obviously been able to take the fuel, 3 victory points, and both munitions back. Right, 222 is out, however, but there is a 6-pounder waiting, and he gets a good shot away. And another! There we go, 222 down!
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
Oof, quite a throw there, I must say.
Yep. Like, that was a really telegraphed throw.
Very questionable choice, in my opinion.
And at least he's sweeping the mine. He's rebuilding
He
the 222.
rebuilds it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Oh, man. That was a gift for Tightrope. Have the map back and have 30 fuel advantage. Yo, bro, do you want to reset the early game? Because I won too hard. Have all of my gains. Just take them. So we might as well...
There's still hope.
Oh, yeah, and it's equal now, pretty much, the game is. The victory points are equal. All the advantages Dutchman got have been equalised.
Yeah. It's like nothing ever happened, you know? There's a normal match. Nothing happened.
GIAA is one of the GCS3 contestants. He's saying, God, this tourney is reaching new heights in terms of skill. There's a 222 drives into a 6-pounder and then stays there and dies. Wow.
It happens, it happens.
Could have been lag spike. It's a lag spike, of course it is.
Yeah.
Right, Tank Hunter Tommy's forced away in the west. And Dutchman's MG's forced away here. He does have a Jaeger command squad versus the assault officer, who does have access to a light gammon bomb, don't forget, and may get some AoE off. Yes, he does. Right. Ooh, that's a nice push in from the Royal Engineers with those Sten guns. Can they finish their job? Can the Vickers get in there? No, it can't. And the Jaeger command survives.
Oof, very close call there.
Ooh, what's this? The M3 half-track. Helping Hands used to swear by this as his favourite implementation of Brit 1v1 strategy, because you could get stuff from it. And he said it was cheaper. I think he got nerfed, actually. It's not as good as it was back in the day. Yeah, it was a little bit better back in the day. Oh! Ooh, mine here. Maybe you could see a little bit of hurt. The Sten guns, again, will not get this kill on retreat. They basically are like water pistols.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the M3 is actually a very good choice, because the amount of damage the Vickers do is quite something else.
There we go. 222 could go down a second time. It does indeed. The UC gets it. That's 2 222s. That's 440 down and out. Well played by Tightrope, and misery for Dutchman. Oh, he does get Fausted, however. UC's now going to go down in a blaze of glory for the Empire. It had a good innings, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's what I would call an ace UC. It's so good, it traded so well, it doesn't even matter if he loses it. You know, he can just get another 80 section and nothing lost.
Oh, he's put the assault officer in the M3. He's going twisted Tootsie mode now. Let's see what he can do. Let's get on the board, the party bus. Sorry, the party bus. The Venga bus is coming. Da, 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 da. Oh, yes, here we go. Let's get the overlays back on. And let's see the damage that can be done. The MG42 is forced away immediately. There is a Faust threatening, though.
No, funnily enough, it's so slow. It's quite questionable that he's even using it as a combat unit.
Oh, that's what I said. It's a bus. Buses are slow, exactly. Did you ever see that game where Twisted Tootsie did it versus Von Ivan and got like 20 wipes or something crazy?
Oh yeah, I did.
That was amazing. I remember what tournament that was. We've done too many tournaments during COVID, the Master League and all that. It's like a blur. I think there's been about 20. And it's been some of the best stuff we've ever had as well, but just the hardcore veterans of the community that's still around have gotten to see it. Not the ones that in our prime. We had way more viewers. Like, the tournaments were way worse back in the day. Like, it's been awesome, to be honest.
Definitely.
We had some amazing moments. And that was certainly one of them, as Tightrope's really pushing the agenda right now, and the agenda, the main part of it is to win. And he's doing a good job of it. He's firmly ahead. And surely be thinking of Mr. Cromwell next.
Yeah. I think the Cromwell will have such a good shock value if he gets it early. He can actually...
Oh, there's a Telemine Inca! He has to be really careful. He's trying to block in the Aegis, but he might drive into it now. He's going to drive forward. Oh, he's safe. He's just like a pirouette around it. Oh, and the pack's found him. He's going to reverse into it now. Oh, God. Everybody say F in chat preemptively. Yeah! At least the guys weren't on board. At least the assault officer wasn't on board.
Tragic. It wasn't even close to the mine, though. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
just close enough, apparently. This, by the way, is the smoke flare from the assault officer. Can do everything.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
You know, Tightrope is floating quite a bit. It's quite unusual, you know. He could get another section or something. Even a Vickers, you know, an MG. But he's not doing anything.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's getting a Vickers right now. Okay.
Okay, Vickers. That's a good decision. MGs are always good on Amelie Fields. Because
Yeah,
it's
I
a
agree.
field. GIAA says, this is weirdly entertaining. It's quite just a decent co-game, unless you're watching it naked. Then it is weirdly entertaining. I don't know how you're enjoying it, so I don't get your side. But from my side, this is just a good game of co. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's quite fun to see off meta stuff like this, you know. You don't see it all the time, especially in tourneys, you know. This is a big one. It's very nice to see Tightrope doing his non-meta build in a tourney.
Well, it is a big one. Both players have played for their flights to Denmark. That's a lot of money invested. And I'm so certain they'd rather be players and have the prestige of everybody clapping them on the back and say, well done, mate, that was great. Or they could just sit there scratching their nuts with a beer in their hands. Both are very good positions to be in, but I'd definitely rather be the championship warrior kind of thing.
They're trying to take it.
Yeah, I agree.
No, Zany. Not right now. Maybe later. Okay, Gren's pushing up the western flank. It's going to be a Centaur? The Axe coming out?
Ooh, I think that's a mistake in my opinion. Because the Cromwell can get lucky shots from time to time, perhaps even wipes, you know. The Centaur doesn't really have that. Perhaps he gets it because he knows about the Dutchman's commander with the planes, but I don't know. I think that's a bad
Double
choice in my
rifle
opinion.
nades there, by the way. And, oh, what an assassination there from the Jaeger command squad. He hunted them down like dogs on retreat, and it was brutal. Yeah, the Centaur's an odd decision. It's not 2015 anymore. I don't know when you started playing this game, but did you know the Centaur used to be the most powerful unit in the game at one point?
Oh yeah, I think my first faction was actually UKF. Like I bought the DLC so I can play with Brit specifically.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it was broke. Obviously I wasn't aware at the time because I was still learning the game, but you know it was a fun time.
It was a fun time indeed. One player back in the day, a Danish player, Aimstrong, he discovered that it was redonkulously OP in auto match and just kept it to himself and then busted out in a massive tournament, and it was really bad. One mine goes off. Will they trigger the other on retreat, or will the Akak turn them into mincemeat? Let's have a look right now. One more Gren remains, but there's a pack lurking in the fog of war. Not a bad start. Would have been better if that mine had gone off, of course. But look at the Dutchman control at the moment.
Yeah, one thing that should be said, you know, despite Dutchman being such a defensive type of player, he's so aggressive in this specific game. Always non-stop capping points and always taking good engagements. It's nice to see, you know. You don't really see that from defensive players. They're more like the type that just wait with the double MGs and double mortars and stuff like that.
Talking about mortars, obviously people have spotted in chat that we do have the British mortar emplacement coming out. One of the strangest design choices in co-history. It is a static emplacement. Right, Faust will come in. Well, the one died, so waiting for them. So never get to do it now. What a mortar shot that was from the Wehrmacht. 5 men, and they have about 3 legs between them now. You're right about the sniper, Inca. If he was to go sniper, one of the best things about it is you're constantly confused where the sniper is, because obviously the tank hunter Tommies make the same noise. It's really annoying, actually.
You know, one specific build that what top player does, Bao Liang, he does tank hunter sections into like 2 or 3 snipers, so you can't dive it because 80 sections just destroy it, you know, and you have that constant pain of getting your squads reduced to 1, you know.
Yes, I agree completely, and it's if you're a headphones user, it's really annoying as well, because you just can't locate the sniper. You're constantly thinking the sniper's there and he isn't there. It really does protect your sniper, actually. But as you've all seen, the mines detonated, the Panzer IV's a little spot of bother, but with there only being 1 6-pounder and a Centaur instead of a Cromwell, it should be relatively safe.
Yeah. I wonder if Tightrope will go for a Comet instead of a Cromwell, for example.
Oh, that would be cool, dude. That would be really cool. Oh, Centaur on retreat for this Gren now. Could get some more damage off, but should be fine. Right, he's had to retreat. He's got the Vickers. He's got the mortar now firing. Still no kills on that thing, as the Wehrmacht mortar actually is doing some damage against it so far. Oh, that's a decent rifle nade. It hits the wall, though. He's fortunate there. Meanwhile, Centaur gets hit by the pack through the bush, and the victory point is neutralized. Tightrope holding on quite well at the moment.
Definitely. I wonder what the reasoning behind the mortar pit was, you know? He only has 1 MG, so I wonder why he used it.
It's very expensive from a manpower. We got a mine here. It's a teller mine on the eastern side. It's very expensive from a manpower point of view. So I do always find it a little bit of a tricky thing to justify as Brits. But one thing it can do is pull your opponent into trying to counter it, and then leave himself vulnerable to being counter-attacked. That's the only thing I can think, really. Other than obviously being a mortar.
That's a good point, actually, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And if you notice where he's put it, it's quite defensive, so it's like almost a focal point. Try and take me out if you dare. What's this artillery? It's an LAB. Where's it located? It's on the mortar. He needs to brace it. Has he seen it in time? He must have braced it, surely. Yeah, he's braced it. A bit slow on the icon there. Now he needs to get the engineers up there and start repairing it ASAP, because the Jaegers right now are spotting for it. The brace is about to wear off. He's got 4 more seconds, and now he's got to repair whilst the pack's plucking away. Remember the mortar, Inca, because it'll soon be dead.
Yeah. It was quite the forwards, you know. I mean, to be fair, he did build it behind the bush, but you can shoot behind it, you know. So, it's not really protected.
It's like when they put camouflage netting on a giant tank. It's still a giant tank.
Yeah. And still, Tightrope is floating so much. Actually, both of them are floating so much.
Well, you
It's,
say that
weird to
just
see.
as Dutchman hits the Panzer IV button, so I think
Oh.
that must have been stream delay, but you're right,
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
float before he got it, because he's still got 40 fuel left. What is Dutchman doing? Ah, he's gone for hammer, which of course... anvil, sorry, that's the exact opposite of hammer. The thing the hammer hits.
Yep.
So yeah, the Churchill one indeed. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going for another mortar. Is he role-playing as a rank 800 here? Are the
That's
mortars that
questionable.
useful? I don't
No,
know.
especially in this, because he only has mobile squads, you know, like he'll just A-click from time to time with the Grenadiers. But the only like consistent target would be the MG, which is cloaked, you know, so he has to sacrifice a squad on mid perhaps, you know. That squad will get suppressed and then he'll try to barrage it. The Dutchman will probably move it, so he'll win nothing in return. I think it's a waste.
Yeah, it puts pressure on the central victory point, of course, but with 2 Panzer IVs on the field now, he's only got the 1AT gun, by the way. The mortar's so bloody expensive for what it is. It's interesting. There's a flare, by the way, from the Jaegers. Let's see it illuminate the battlefield. There you go. Can't quite see the mortar, I don't think. But it's going to reveal itself now anyway. Meanwhile, there's the coordinated fire on the Jaeger's position. It's going to be easy to dodge. Panzer IV pushes east. Androfight thinks Tightrope is saving for the croc. Interesting idea. Definitely would have wanted 2 6-pounders if that's what he's doing.
I don't think he's saving for a crocodile because the hammer upgrade would have been much better because of the boosted dips, you know, the speed boost
Assault officer,
ability.
sorry, Inca. He got the rounds in, but will he survive to tell the tale? No, he won't. He dies. Kickers fly up. He managed to wipe the Vet mortar, but indeed he died. That's a Vet 3 squad that's been lost.
Yeah, tragedy.
Tightrope had such a chance in this, but I'm just going to say it. I think the mortars have thrown it away for him. All that manpower wasted.
I think the choices he made weren't optimal, you know, for this type of match. Like he's been floating for so much time, you know. I mean, obviously now he gets a second HP gun, but he could have gotten that so much sooner, you know.
Yeah. It's a
think just
shame.
the
It really is.
choices.
Everyone would have loved Tightrope to have made a really good run in this tournament. And there's another squad that just died, by the way. But
Yeah.
I just feel like his manpower investments in this game could have been tighter. And yeah, maybe a second 6 sounds sad. There we go. The second 6-pounder's now out. So, you know, but it's a support weapon meta in the top levels of tournament play, and it's there for a reason, unfortunately. And mortar pits don't count as support weapons, IMO.
Yeah, and I think he only played with like 3 main lines, you know, considering the 80 section is the main line. He never got a fourth one, even when he was floating, you know. He was always behind in terms of map control, and with Dutchman actually being the aggressive one here, which was a pleasant surprise, I'd say, you know, it didn't really do the job for him. He needed to be a little bit more aggressive after the double 2-2-2 wipes, actually.
Yeah, and to add to that, Inca, GIAA and Findeed, 2 fellow GCS3 competitors to Tightrope and Dutchman, they've said that you're 0 follow-up even if the mortar kills stuff, and I think that's so true. If you wipe a support weapon, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right, this is good for Tightrope now, though. He does have the Cromwell on its way. He's got 2 6-pounders. If he gets lucky against a couple of Panzer IVs in a big engagement, mine goes off, by the way. Where are the 6-pounders at right now? He needs to make stuff start to happen. Dutchman's pushing in. He's got 1 Panzer IV coming in. 6-pounder does hit him. 2 6-pounders hit him, rather. Where's those 18 aids at? We need to get them in now. Centaur's backing up still. Come on, Cromwell. Comet, rather. You've got to build faster. You've got to get on there. I'll tell you what, the Centaur's getting shots in on this Panzer IV. Meanwhile, 1 6-pounder is down. Can the Centaur get rear armour shots in here? Panzer IV could die to a Centaur. That could be big. Oh, it's not going to happen now, and the Pak 40's facing the right way. Meanwhile, both 6-pounders are down. Engineers are about to die. That's got to be it. Oh, no, come on. Comet, save the day. You've got so much work to do. It needs to... Oh, and the engineers die as well. It's a 1-tank army. He's playing like a MOBA now, Inca.
Yeah, that's definitely tragic to see. I think the game is definitely over.
Inca, you often say the word tragic on stream, and I think this is definitely your best use of the word tragic ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like your catchphrase word.
It is. You know, it's a good coping mechanism, you know, for a 1v1 plays, for example, you know, like RNG fucks you up. Oh, well, that's unfortunate or that's tragic, you know, it's not my fault. I played well.
I love it. And playback over. Thank you, Tightrope, for all you've done in the, educating us through facts and tutorials and for giving it a bloody good go in this best of 3 today. But the angry Dutchman was unconquerable, indomitable, and he rolls on in GCS3. GG.
We're obviously doing most of the work, you know.
Yeah, well, that's how it tends to happen. I like inviting analysis casters though, Inca, because it's nice to get a second opinion sometimes, especially from players, because you guys will know the feeling of playing at this level better than anybody, of course, having actually done it. We're looking at the brackets though, Inca. So let's fill these bad boys in. I temporarily had to take a screenshot earlier and remove it, so I'll fill in the result from yesterday, which is 2-1 for Refero.
Yeah.
And let's go to the other side of the brackets where we've got Dutchman winning 2-0 versus Tightrope. He'll play the winner of Orange Pest Vector next, well, in a couple of weeks or whenever they play. And now, interestingly, everyone that gets through to the second round gets another shot at playing live. The losers of the quarterfinals will have a playoff, and there'll be an interesting little situation where we have a 5th place game instead of a 3rd place game in this tournament, just to give 2 more guys a chance to play live. Okay. So yeah, what are your predictions, Inca, from this point on in the tournament?
For every bracket? I say Gibber wins, obviously. I don't know who wins between Hans and Oziligat, though. I think that would be interesting to watch. I think Best will win. I think he'll actually get to the final. I think actually the final will be between Lovenest and Best.
Yeah,
and
I said that. Yeah, I put that.
Yeah, I don't know who will win though, because I have to see Lovenest play first.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I will be actually decided on the winner. But I think Best has a good chance. You know, he has the micro to do it. He's very aggressive. Loveness is very defensive. So there's definitely a thing there. You know, a clash. I think Elpan versus Gia will actually be pretty interesting to watch. You know, I think they will actually be on par. That should be a very good series.
Oh, God is National Elpern will be good. I mean, assuming, of course, Elvedi doesn't beat Elpern and Sidewinder doesn't. God is National.
Yeah.
So that's what you're expecting there, and you expect that to be. I think so, because God of National always been a player I admired in auto match from way back in the day, and he's coming to, obviously everyone's coming to GCS, but he's one of the first to sign up, which was exciting, and interested to see what evolves there. What's going to happen in the bottom left quadrant, though? That's where the drama's at, with, of course, Helping Hands being in the event. And I say drama because he's such a big fan favourite, and he is rusty at 1v1. So how far do you think he'll go? And could he, what will he do versus Gibber?
I think he has a chance to win versus Oziligat. I think Gibber, my trust in Gibber is fucking skyrocketing at the moment. You know, I have so much faith in him. If he actually decides not to do meme builds, I have very high hopes for Gibber. I think he can go toe to toe with Loveness perhaps if he's on point that day. And I also think he will win versus Hans. I don't think Hans can actually do it at the moment because he's a bit rusty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like to be objective. There's not really much else to say. I think Gibber has been practicing so much lately, both in 2v2s and in 1v1s. Yeah. Even Ozilgat has been asking for scrims
Oh,
for GCS3.
really?
Yeah, he doesn't want to
Wow.
do auto match anymore. He wants to play versus top players.
Well, exactly. Automatch is kind of dead now, isn't it? And this trophy's an awesome trophy. I think that really helps add to the prestige of the event. These guys fancy it. Don't forget,
Yeah.
like Love Nest is rusty. He's not the same old Love Nest he was. This like amazing player from back in the day. He's still really good, but he's not like 10 out of 10 good anymore. He's beatable. And Orange Pest, of course, had his head in ideas like recently, and some things didn't happen, so he's not basically possibly been practicing. Basically, Kimbo, people were invited, so I invited all the players in Europe that I knew were eligible to play, and all the players in America and a few in Asia. I sent invites out to like 30 or so players, and all the patrons got an invite as well, and everybody that donated to GCS1 and GCS2. So I invited about 100 people, and 30 signed up. But you had to pay. Yeah, everyone had to pay about $60 to cover the event. And if you signed up to play after that, you get a chance to sign up to play, having signed up as an attendee, and then the prize pool gets released. So I kind of wanted people to have faith in me and just do it blindly, because I think we have that level of trust in the community that we can make it happen and it'll all work out. Did you have to pay? I don't know, Zany. How much did you pay? I thought we all paid the same. Some
You
people
got
that weren't. Yeah, if you weren't a benefactor, I think you had to pay $80 or something if you weren't already a patron. Oh, you're joking. It's a kappa. Okay, fair enough. That made you send nudes. That was it. So yeah, it's a pretty cool and pretty exciting event. I'm excited anyway. Just going to create a little bit of kind of buffer content now. So I don't know what that might end up being. Let's have a little think. Might play a sneaky 1v1. just to create a buffer, because as everyone knows, I don't download my VODs and then upload them after rendering them. I just put everything from Twitch straight onto it. GIAA says cast another game. That's a good idea. That's probably a better idea than me playing.
Highest ranked auto match move gone.
What about lowest ranked? Is that not more fun?
Oh, asking income for replay. I don't have any replays, unfortunately. So that's a shame.
Ed, by the way, survived his drive back to Leicester today, and he does not like driving on the motorway. He's scared of it. So everybody give him a round of applause.
Very
Well
nice.
played, Ed. Well played. No more games today. It's whatever your name is. Sorry, dude. No more games today. We will instead just be creating buffer content for the YouTube upload. So there's going to be some random buffer content right now.
You know what? Perhaps Gibor has
Maybe.
some replays.
Yeah, go and ask him, dude.
Should be in
Meanwhile,
chat.
I'll check out Auto Match and see what we've got over there. Got Love Nest versus Brickman. Well, you said you wanted to check out how Love Nest is playing. Let's go check him out right now, Inca. He's versus Brickman from Japan, who was a GCS2 donator. Small community, eh? So let's go and invite you right now, if I have you as a friend. Don't know why I'm talking like this. My brain kind of shuts down when I'm trying to do two things at once.
It happens. It happens.
You just went in game. I was about to click your name. Got ya. There you go.
Well, that's my bad. Give me 1 second to actually join.
This will be a chill cast, by the way. I'm going to put far less effort into doing this. Do you need another invite?
I should be here. I'm in the spectate screen. Let me check.
Okay, sending you another one just in case.
Okay.
There we go, got ya. Let's go watch it.
Does it work? It says I'm unable to join.
Oh, I just pressed join. Just go on the top ranked replay anyway. It's
Okay,
there.
yeah,
You'll find
definitely.
it. And we'll start at 5 seconds or something.
Okay.
I did show you as being in my party, but clearly not.
Well, that's the the bug, unfortunately. Oh, he's playing Vermont as well.
So do you have any links? Can we all go follow your channel or anything, Inca?
Yeah, I'll give you the Twitch link. Give me 1 second.
So everybody, we're going to pay Inca Una in follows today because I'm such a nice guy, and then I'll try and remember to subscribe to him next time he streams.
Thank you.
So let's go and follow his Twitch channel, everybody, if you can. And also might as well subscribe whilst we're there. It says resubscribe. I have subscribed to you in the past, so there you go.
Yes, you did. You did.
Ah, well, there you go. There's another one. What emotes does that give me?
Oh, they are actually pretty cool in my opinion, at least.
Okay, let's see these out. So we've got Inca Una Cheers. I've got Inca Una What's. I've got the Really Guy. I've got What as a separate one. I've got Weird Champ, Doubt, Dump Champ, and WTF. So let's have a look at these.
He knows that one.
Zany. No, I don't. How dare you? My game is not loading, by the way. I don't know what's happening here. It's just not loading.
Mine loaded, but everything is dead. Oh, okay,
What?
it fixed itself.
Oh, it's just sort of weird server times. Okay, we're having weird
Yeah.
server times right now. Nice.
I'm at 13 by the way. I forgot to.
13, no problem. I'll try and get there at some point in time as soon as my PC decides it wants to work. Or
Okay.
Relic servers, or Code 2. You didn't eat my banana loaf, Ed. Ah, I've loaded first. Perfect. Let's get to 13 seconds and join the mighty Una of Inca. Why the name Inca Una, Inca Una?
Oh, everyone asks me this. Okay, so a long time ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, my first game got casted. It was a 2v2 game, and my name was something like Luca #IncaUna, right?
Yeah.
And Tightrope didn't want to say the full name, so he just said IncaUna. So after seeing that game, I was extremely happy, and I decided, you know what? Perhaps IncaUna is much better, you know, and it is much better.
So Tightrope chose your name unexpectedly.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, dudes. Let's go over to the thing now and just make sure that nobody thinks this is a game. How do I do that? I think I have like an audio test thing here. Let me copy that. Copy, paste, duplicate. Properties. Mind you, if anybody joins, just tell them it's Love Nest playing in the tournament. It's fine. All right, then, dudes. So we're at 13 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Play. 14, 15, 16. This is the GCS1 champion, the GCS2 runner-up, and one of the best players ever to play the bloody game. It's Love Nest, and he's up against, from Japan, a big donator to GCS2, and also a Lego fan. It's Brickman. Inca, have you played both of these two players?
I never played versus Brickman. I played versus Love Nest a few times. Obviously, in the latest Master League tournament, I think. Well, actually, no, it was before that in the qualifiers. Yeah. I had some exciting games versus him. He's a very nice guy and a very good player, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard or seen Brickman though. It's my first time seeing him. So
He's top 100. He's not bad. He's a clever guy as well, and I'm sure he'll give it a good go. I'm sure he won't get past 20 minutes, though. Maybe around
oh, that's
there.
gonna be hard. Yeah.
Maybe around there, I expect the game to go. My true guess is 22 minutes exactly. That's what I'll go.
Yeah.
Brickman's not terrible, but Love Nest should handle him quite easily.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll actually go for guard motor. I think that's the wisest choice here because of guards, and perhaps the 120 as well, because the auto match is not nerfed. It's OP.
Well, another way of saying your analysis there is he might go for guard motor coordination tactics because he's playing Company of Heroes 2, and it's the best commander in the game. By
Pretty
far.
much, yeah.
It's just ridiculous, and I really wish that Relic would let us put the 120mm change into the game because I think it's still usable in tourney mod. It's just not OP. Finally, 4-man squads finally makes it just about work. Right.
Loveness is very aggressive today, from what it seems like.
Yeah. 3 Grens, MG, of course, just in a solid position there. This is, we've gone from autumn to spring, it would seem. We're on auto match Amelie. Pinned, conscripts forced away, and just chill for now. What about, do you have a winning record against Loveness, would you say, Inca?
In scrims, and obviously the one match I won in the tourney, which I'm quite proud of. Other than that, he's a very good player. It's very hard to win versus him. Even in Rusty form, you know, he's quite the player.
Yeah. His positioning's just so excellent. He's
yeah, exactly.
He was a Silder before a Silder was a Silder, basically.
No, even slight movements like this one, you know, like soft retreating with the MG to buy his Grenadier's time to shoot at the conscript, you know, it's very impressive. Not a lot of players do it.
No, he's good at staying in engagements, and that's exactly what he might do now. And he might pick up the kill here. These Con anti-AKs are stationary. He's got that accuracy bonus, and he assassinates them. Exactly.
Oof, not a great start for Brickman.
Very rough start indeed. As the Grens advanced both cut-offs, we do have conscripts in position. We might not get to 22 minutes at this rate.
Could be over very soon, yeah.
He overextended and got punished for it. And won't go too well from here, most likely.
This will be very hard to get back into the game. You could actually get a nice flank on the MG here, though.
Oh, can he though? Needs to get this combat engineer in there. He's got no flamethrower coming out because the flamethrower is in the north. He does have the fuel in the east though, so it's not looking horrendous. He's just that conscript down basically.
You know what? If he goes for the cutoff right now, he could deny a lot of fuel from his opponent.
Yeah, it's wide open. Will he go for it? He's going to go for the victory point instead. That's not...
Slight mistake, yeah.
Yeah, that's a slight mistake. It's not in vogue anymore to go for victory points in the early game. It's all fuel, fuel, fuel.
Yeah.
A lot of players realise that, and whenever I see anybody cap a victory point in the first 6 minutes, I'm always judgmental. Are you, Inca? I just feel judgmental.
Yeah. I mean... what I feel like a lot of players are doing, you know, when you see a good opponent, actually in this case, you know, better than you, perhaps miles better than you know, they are quite afraid to push. They like to play defensively. You know, I think you should actually do the opposite. You know, you have to feel the blood when it's there. You know, you have to go for the throat when you have the occasion, and perhaps end the game early, because you might not get a chance late. You know, when his superior micro will show. You know.
Yes. Rifle made into retreat there. Conscripts calmly sidestep it and continue their assault. Meanwhile, Loveness branching out in the east with the Pioneers and MG combo. He's playing a little bit lackadaisically here. Just chilling. He's got his 2-2-2 out. He's going to open up some better retreat paths and pathings. One thing you should do on Amelie as a tip for you players that actually play an auto match is crush these walls here, here, and here. Which just allows your units to path better and to retreat better as well. Best map to do that on, if you didn't know already, is Villa Shanka. Just get any vehicle out you can and crush those bloody fences. They're so
Unfortunately,
annoying.
I have the map on Veto and I shall never remove it from Veto. I can't stand playing on it. So.
Okay, Clodney Firma Summer. Crush those bloody fences.
Veto as well.
Okay, any
Unite.
map with fences you hate, basically.
I don't know. Perhaps.
Well,
No,
Amelie has
Femobile got. Well, actually, I think the Ottoman is Femobile. Perhaps.
Yes, there's some fences you should destroy there, maybe, yes. Gunther in chat sadly won't be making GCS this time, but I'm sure it's not for a lack of trying. I think he has family occasions. Maybe he can organise a viewing party in Germany. I don't get that. We had Danish people that couldn't make GCS3. I won't name them by name. And I'm like, what? We're putting the tournament in your country. What should you use?
I think it's a weekend only, you know. So
Yeah, some people do stuff at weekends. That isn't having a big, sweaty
yeah,
man party.
fair enough actually.
Which,
Okay.
if you're an 18-year-old Romanian, is very difficult to explain to your parents if you want to go. I'm going to a big, sweaty man party.
Actually,
in
like
Denmark.
one of the problems with me specifically, I have my driving like writing exam around that time.
Oh,
I also
okay.
have my I think it's thesis. I don't know, like mini exams and stuff like that.
You got to
Like
put
in
this
that
stuff
week.
first, definitely.
Yeah, I can't
Difficult
really.
timing then. Hopefully we get into the spirit of it, and I've found this one way easier to organise because basically AE is basically reduced tournament organisation down to the lowest effort possible. These days I've got all
Yeah.
the assets already made, I've got all the systems. I don't even need referees anymore, not because they weren't great, just because the players know the rules. So
Yeah.
all the cheats were eliminated. We eliminated them with cold, brutal oppression. And now we've got just great players that play the game properly, know the rules, are on time, don't F around. What's happening, Inca? What happened to the drama in this community?
I don't know. I don't know.
We all like each other these days. Not everybody gets on. It's such a...
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. At least for
eerie
now.
At least for now. I've seen already that the casuals are coming back for Code 3, and they're so toxic, some of them.
Oh, well, it happens, I guess. I don't know.
We'll have to weather the storm.
You know, it should be really exciting to see new members pop up. You know, like after Code 3 releases. I think it's very exciting.
Oh, T70 coming in. Grenadier's forced away. Love Nest is knocking at the door. Vector, I wasn't on about Skippy. And Almond, I'm definitely not being janitor this time. I will be putting on the GCS3 attendees Discord. Who's doing the hoovering today? Who's helping out with the cleaning today? Or we just all do a bit after each day. There's only 2. I am not doing that shit again. It was brutal last time.
Oh, would that be white?
With the incendiary
Whoa.
round, you'd expect it, but somehow they survive.
Damn.
Oh no, GIAA's threatening us with the Code 1 psychopath side of the community. As one of the biggest fans of Code 1 ever, I can confirm that most Code 1 only fans scare me. They really do. I've been on their Discord. It's a bleak, desolate place of humanity.
I never understood how people liked Code 1 more than Code 2. Never really got that, to be honest.
Well, you joined in like 2015, so you didn't see the first couple of years, which were dreadful. I can't
Okay,
tell you how
fair
bad
enough.
Code 2 was when it first came out. It was appallingly bad. Hopefully Code 3 is like 20 times better.
Okay, yeah, well, fair enough, actually. Fair enough.
But yeah, Code 2 now is better than Code 1, but only time adjusted. It's
Oh, and imagine if they actually give us support for the turnies, you know?
oh,
Or
please.
actually, even stuff like that should be really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just put Master League into dormant mode. I tell all the fans, listen, I'm going to keep your subscriptions. We're just going to dormant, won't charge you for a little while, see if Relic can make some tournaments. Give them 6 months, Inca, and then we're back in business, baby.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Rickman's
if we
fighting
get even like a quarter of the attention that Age of Empires gets, oh, it would be so good.
They must be better. I know they've got that caster who's like a better version of me. What's his name? The guy that does the tournament organisation casting for AoE 2. What's his bloody name?
I have no idea. Is he a player as well?
He's a pretty decent player as well, probably. He's a
Rango or something like that, perhaps?
No.
No,
Anyway, they've got a
okay, then
couple of guys, but I think they must have dev support. They must have really good dev support because, you know, I struggled to get tweeted by Relic. It's really been tough trying to organise ML. It's really... I just realised it's me and the community and we're in it for ourselves. No promotion, no Twitch front page. Very, very, you know... Sisters are doing it for themselves. Yeah, it's T90 GI, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's really going for that kill on the 2-2-2. I don't know if he will get it though. Okay, he will.
Will he?
If he just stands still, he has extra range if he stands still. Oh my god.
Brutal. Will we see a rifle nade on retreat? No,
Ah,
he's done it.
okay.
Managed to make it to T17. We're at 12 minutes. Will we make another 10 minutes of this game for Brickman? Will we get to that 22 minutes we predicted? What we all want to see.
Fallen to 300.
Loveness is almost at his full time as well. Just need a little bit more fuel. Also the tech structure.
I mean, one thing I always question about Loveness is he plays these auto match games where he plays at like 50% capacity of his output. And I don't know what it adds to his game. Is it just keeping himself
Losing supplies to the enemy.
remembering the hotkeys and stuff like that? I don't know.
Well,
He
it
really
could be
doesn't try,
perhaps no one is available for scrims right now, you know, and he's just trying to, you know, like keep himself warmed up, you know, to not get rusty.
But he doesn't play hard. You know what I mean? He plays really loose when he plays.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really require a lot of micro to him versus like players above rank 20, I'd say, at least a player of his level.
Well, they do that in sports. They do low intensity training in a lot of sports where you just do an hour of the activity. But if you do it with poor practice and poor form, it doesn't help you. You have to do it with good technique, good strategy and tactics in this case for it to be valuable. I'm not comparing company errors to athletics. Oh wait, I just did. Anyway, Gren's push up. And the Zis joins Brickman's forces. Just fleshing out his army now versus these 4 LMG Grenadiers.
Vehicles.
What do you think about the idea of 2v2 tournaments right now? It's, Inca, do you think anybody could beat Nagano and Isolde?
I haven't faced every team at the current moment, so I don't know, but it's definitely the scariest team, I'd say. Like number 1 and number 2 of Code. That's quite the team, I must say. I mean, perhaps if CN comes back, you know, and he gets himself a very good teammate, he can actually win. He's one of the best 2v2 players, I'd say.
Well, CN said he had a friend that had just bought a new copy of Code 2. He said he was called Looking.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a fellow German friend or something. And he asked me, can he play with him if there was a 2v2 tournament? I said, yeah, sure. Always happy to see new players.
Yeah. Well, fair enough, fair enough. Perhaps he's a new player, you know? He's just training him. He'll be here in a couple of weeks. Perhaps even better than most players that are playing today.
Yeah, a really quick learning curve. Probably go from being a very good 2v2 player to the best 1v1 player in the world in about 4 months.
Yeah,
Something like that.
exactly. It can happen. It's not unusual or something like that.
Oh, I've also seen it happen before. Anyway, we've got a good emote in chat there. It's, Alright, Love Nest is, of course, soaking up a lot of the map. Meanwhile, Brickman's surviving. He's got his Zis out now. He's got this guard squad. He's gotten 3 kills, not too shabby.
Loveness has been floating quite a lot this game.
Yeah, as I say,
Quite
he's kind
unusual.
of playing with a handicap kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing a weird trend, you know, first with Tightrope, then with Dutchman, and now with Loveness as well. There is a weird pattern here, and I don't really like it.
What? Oh, main gun destroyed on the
What a
T70. Yeah, very good attack ground. He's very good at locating them with his headphones, as Love Nest. He showed me on Crossroads through the bushes that he can really track vehicles with alarming accuracy and kill them, basically.
In a fog of war?
Yeah, no, he does it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well. Really well.
Yeah. It's one of the benefits, you know, of having actual sound and not the music while playing.
Well, the music gets you pumped up, Inca.
Yeah, it does, you know, like perhaps before a turning game. Well, actually, what I like to do when I play turning games, you know, to get the stress level down, just play a little bit of music until we actually get to a point where I'm getting scared. So I just stop it and I actually try hard for a bit. You know? Like before that, it's all casual.
Nice, nice. Right, the Grens are pushing up now. Love Nest is knocking at the door. He's also got the Panzer IV on the field. 0 kills, spotting scopes upgraded. And Pintle Mount MG about to unload.
We have 200 points remaining.
Loveness should really start pretending he really likes Jaeger infantry doctrine, because he always plays German mechanized and he is going to get it vetoed out of his hands at this rate.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Quiritz is also playing the same commander with the spotting scopes.
Yeah, it
It's,
really helps
it's
players
a-
like...
Yeah.
Go on, sorry,
The
dude.
tank gun is ready for action.
It's a trend between defensive players, you know. I think was it Loveness that actually made it popular, or was it Quiritz? I'm not sure.
Love Nest. He was doing it back in ESL 2016.
Okay.
Long history of using it. On the map crossing in the woods, notably. Longras as well.
Enemy forces are
They used to be tournament
neutralizing
maps, so yeah, he was using it back in the day.
Must have been horrible, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Oh, we had some interesting tournament pools for GCS1. I think it was Crossing in the Woods, Kolodny Firma. Crossroads wasn't out yet. It was Fame.
Oh, it wasn't out. Okay.
No, exactly, yeah. GCS2 had Crossroads. GCS1 did not.
Wow. Okay. Interesting times.
Yeah. I think that was the case anyway. There was no Nexus, that's for certain.
This is quite a decent map, I say. One of my favorites, actually.
I think there's a divide. I think top level players like it, but plebs like myself do not, because it's so narrow, it kind of pushes you to be good at the game. You have to be really quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's too instant. I like players that are a little bit longer, games that are a little bit, maps that rather, that are a little bit longer so I have more time to think.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
Nexus scares me, I don't like it. Go away.
It's quite hard to play on it as well, you know, because there are so many traps, you know, like for example the buildings near the fuel points. Like if you get early control of them, it's pretty much GG. You know, that's why like after doing so many scrims on that specific map, everyone that's playing Wehrmacht just rushes to wire the house, because if a conscript gets there, it's GG. You won't have the resources to take back the fuel in time.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
annihilated
what a
combat
wipe.
engineer. He did stick around for a bit too long, though, to be fair.
Yeah, a little bit too greedy.
Well, he's making it to 22 minutes. Oh, no, he's
Surrendered.
not.
Right before the 20-minute mark as well. Damn,
Oh, there you go.
so tragic.
He wasn't to know we had a bet on him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Certainly is. And that was just a bonus cast for you guys, because we wanted to pad out the YouTube video. Big thanks to Inca Una. Go and send him some love on his Twitch. If you can, go and sub to him, give him some follows, etc. And thanks for tuning in. Let's have a little look what we might be casting next weekend, just to keep your juices flowing. So that's exclamation mark brackets. Go and have a check on the schedule. We can see... Where are we at? What date is it? Okay, next weekend is the 30th and the 1st. Ooh, GIAA versus Sidewinder is the only scheduled game right now. And... Oh, no! Sorry, there's 3, because the 30th there. Got Orange Pest versus Vector on the Saturday. Love Nest versus Ed 80Hz as well. And then, of course, GIAA versus Sidewinder on the Sunday. 3 series next weekend. Interesting. Yeah, hype's died immediately, indeed. Well, a lot of people have gone now.
I'm not dying or anything like that. Like my hype is not dying. At least not yet. We'll see.
We'll see. And big thanks to everybody for watching. We'll go and raid somebody now. Go and enjoy the rest of our Sundays. Let's see. Let's give Helping Hands a much-needed boost. Because we really need to help his channel. And we do. Let's go and help his channel. I'm always there to help the big, the small boys, you know. Alright then. There we go. He, of course, will be playing in GCS as well. There we go. So, if I can get my bloody keyboard working. Raid Helping Hands. Boom. Raid in progress. Fantastic. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers, Inca. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.